Hi, I'm Mike, and today we're going to be looking at the TDS power rack, basically what I'm sitting in now. I purchased this rack probably about 6 months ago. We've been using it between myself and my wife about 7 days a week. So I believe we put it through the test, and I could right now give it a fair review. In this review, I'm basically going to go over the specs, the quality, what I like and dislike about it, and basically if it's worth it. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, so TDS power rack, it's a 2x2 rack, which basically means that this tubing is 2 inches by 2 inches. It is made out of 11 gauge steel. That's probably basically the minimum that you're going to want to look at. It's kind of the standard. So that's how thick the actual wall is on this post itself. It's rated for 1,000 pounds, more than I will ever need. Even if you're doing rack pulls off of it, it's not going to bend or tip over or collapse, so you don't have to worry about that. The nice thing about this rack that I like compared to other racks is that they've got the solid 1-inch steel pins for the safeties, which are right down here, and they have kind of this latch that locks into place so you can't pull it out. As the rack comes, you get the 4 posts right there. You don't get the pulley. That's this thing right here. That's actually a Titan part, and you don't get any of these weight holders, which are down there. That's another accessory that I did add to it. One thing that I did add also is that when this comes out, this is basically bare steel. Looks like that. So if you're dropping things on it, it's going to get scratched up pretty bad. I don't know if it's going to rust or anything, but this is basically a 1-inch inner diameter rubber hose that I slice down the middle, and then I place it right on there. Kind of difficult with one hand, but you get the idea. You can see right there is the other one. The reason I bought the rack was, I belong to a commercial gym. They've got great stuff. This is by no means a commercial gym rack. It is, it's great for the house. It's great for a single person, and honestly, you're probably never gonna wear it out. But this is not something you're gonna find in a commercial gym. It'll probably get destroyed pretty quickly. But the reason I bought it was because, you go to the gym and every now and again you want to try to max out, especially on your bench or the squat or something like that. And a lot of gyms don't have power racks or racks where you could bench in. So I wanted to be able to work out at home, go to the max, and basically be able to fail without getting stuck under a bar, be it, squats, bench press, whatever it may be. This allows me to do that without any issues because you've got the solid steel pins. One nice thing about this is that it is pretty tall. I mean, I'm 6'7". You'll see in a couple clips here of me squatting, and I don't come anywhere near the max height on this. So if I fit in this, anybody will. Same with the width too. So I'm going to get a tape measure here, and we'll go over the sizes themselves. So the overall width from the outside post is 48 inches. The inside between the 2 posts is obviously 44 inches. The inside up here is 26 inches. This is the only downside, is that this is kind of narrow. When you're benching or doing rack pulls or anything along those lines, and you stack plates here, this will actually come in contact with 45s that are placed down here. That's one downside to it, so I don't put my 45s there. I've got a separate weight tree, and that's where they kind of live, but the 25s fit fine. They're not in the way of benching or rack pulls or anything along those lines. Also, the height, obviously, I am in a basement and it barely fits, but the height overall is 83 inches, so it'll fit in a 7-foot basement, barely, but it does fit. But overall, it's a great size. I have plenty of room to do what I need to do. One downside to this rack that I believe is that they put some plate storage on the back over here. they would like you to add weights there to keep it sturdy, because honestly, with no weight, I could push this and this thing around. It's not going to tip over, but it is a little shaky. But they want you to put 45 plates there. As you can see with this particular bench, if I put a 45 plate there, it would not fit. I wouldn't be able to roll the bench all the way back. So that is one con. It's not that big of a deal. I just put my change plates there, and that's just what I use that space for. Quality of the rack is decent. I mean, you're only paying $280 for it. The welds, okay. I'm not. It's not like it's a piece of artwork, but the welds look like they're fine. There's no splatter or anything. They look like they're penetrated well. Here's the hooks themselves. I actually like the hooks. They are ugly, and they're gonna scratch up. As you can see, there's bare metal there. Same with this side too. But you can see there's a nice gusset that's welded completely across there. So I know if I drop something pretty heavy on here, I don't believe it's going anywhere. There's a cool feature on it, which I'll show you in a second here, of how they lock in. Very easy. You unscrew the tab on it and flip it out, and it goes right back into the next hole. So it's very easy to switch around. Another nice feature on this rack is it does have a pull-up bar. It's got some decent knurling on it. It is pretty fat, so I mean it's nice for me because I've got bigger hands and longer fingers, so it's a nice easy grip on there. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing too many pull-ups on this, being that I am all of 1.5 inches from the ceiling, unless I cut a hole in the ceiling for my head to go through. But it is a nice feature if you do have the space. So as you can see, that was the rack. So now you know everything about it. And overall, I think it's totally worth it. I purchased it for $280, and that's currently what it's at right now. I don't think you could get a cheaper rack, at least one that I wouldn't, that I could trust. This one's rated for 1,000 pounds, so I don't have to worry about if I am dropping things that I'm not going to get stuck under something. The quality itself is, decent. It's nothing great, but it's enough for what I need. There are better racks out there, obviously. You are going to pay more for them. I think the next closest one is going to be the Titan T2, currently going for, I believe, $330. So for some buyers, you're probably going to be looking at that one. But overall, I would get this TDS rack, again, without any questions. It's a great rack. It does what I need it to do. And, in the future, I could always go to a Rogue or something along those lines. But as of right now, I really can't see outgrowing this. So besides that, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I will be glad to answer them. Bye.